Hi, thank you for being here for our Raw Materials Values and Ideals pillar. I am Tavish Cardiff. If you would like further information, you can find it at our website or here on YouTube, any of our intro videos. The cool thing about this is you can start the practice at any time. Values and Ideals Week is a great place. So let's just talk a little bit about the difference, ORM style. Here we place the definition of value in a space of how you actually are using your time. So think about, where you truly spend your time. How much do you spend at work? How much do you spend on social media? Or how much do you spend with your family or friends? Whatever that is, kind of get a sense of what that means to you and look at your actual stuff. The values list that we talk about conversationally are qualities generally, but we're just really looking at value related to time here. And then as far as ideals go, how would we really want to be spending our time? And when we think about the things that we value and how we actually spend our time versus the things that we want or think that would be important and we don't get to spend a lot of time doing those things, we've invented a little space that we call the ideal playground. And at the ideal playground, we do the thing that we normally do with fear, which is sit and toil over it or worry or about decisions. How do you choose one thing over another? We get to that space where, we worry and we toil and we really struggle to figure out what it's going to be. Well, flip side, ideal playground, we go in there with the coolest ideas we can imagine for things. It's a creative space where we don't maybe have the power to act, but we can create the most beautiful or amazing conditions that we can imagine. So the easiest way for me to do that is think about a person's fear. If you take that fear to the ideal playground, you're imagining all the cool things that could happen. The point is to occupy your mind or train it to go to a different set of beliefs, go to a different expectations. Set yourself up so that your values and the things that are ideally what you want are present in your mind, not so far behind you or so far to the side that they are assumed and disregarded. And I think that's what happens a lot with our value systems is we assume we're doing it. We assume that we are hitting all the marks when really, maybe this week we really didn't do very well at it at all, but it seems like we did because those are the things that we know are important to us. And that I think the confusion that we have sometimes is separating what's important to us from how we actually are spending our time, and then looking at, do we have this space or the ability to make those things match up a little better and to make it so that we do get to spend more time doing things that we like. And even in our mental space, because this is one of the mental weeks, it's how our brains are set up. It's how our patterns run through us when we think of a thing and all of the other ideas that automatically come to us about that thing. We back up from our own values and ideals and start using them in a productive way to help us make decisions so that we don't have to sit there and figure things out. It's really obvious which choice we should make. If we can make a value-based choice, we're going to be a lot happier making a fast decision and moving on. Our values are cool things to mess around with, and for me, I like to make it an active thing. So even week to week or day to day, my values might change a little bit. Here are the set values for today. And so that would be the challenge that I would offer for this week, is to create a little list every day. It is a to-do list, kind of, but also it's mixed in with things that are important to you, not just the checking them off, but actually finding gratitude for some things on your list, being able to spend time appreciating what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think that just adds a little bit of depth and changes our brain patterns just a little bit to how we take things in and how we find more satisfaction in our daily lives without changing a whole lot, and how to find more time to spend doing things that we love doing, even though we're not really rearranging anything but our mental state, the way that we receive and process information, and the way that we think about the things that we value. On top of that, spending some time in the ideal playground so that we get to imagine super cool things that we may not get to do yet, but imagining them puts us a lot closer to getting to do them. Enjoy Values and Ideals Week and learning what the difference between the two means for you, because that's what this practice is really about, a way to understand your own mind, your own emotional makeup, your spiritual makeup, obviously your mental makeup, and your physical makeup, how those things work together. Values and Ideals Week really lets us dive in on that objectively and the process of how we do it, instead of finding the shame and blame that we normally do for feeling bad about what we haven't done. Let's just look at the way we order things and see if we can find a little way to rearrange them. If we're working with things objectively, we'll be all set up for next week when we talk about conflict. Enjoy your week. Thank you.